What's up? Ranger Raven 5678 here, and welcome back to another DBD video. And today we're just not going to be doing a reaction to the live stream of The Walking Dead, but I want to go give you guys a quick rundown in case you missed it and you just want to know what's going on. So here's what happened in the live stream. So first off, of course, The Walking Dead is what they got into it, and I can go ahead and confirm that all of the actors that played their characters in the show are voicing their characters in the game, which is awesome. And yes, there are voice lines. Now, they're not as frequent as Girl Oblivia's voice line, but they are in the game, and it does happen during the match. So like when you get hooked or when you're healing somebody, or occurs when you spawn into the match, then you will be getting a voice line, which I know it doesn't really mean a lot to most people, but to me, voice lines kind of give the immersion and stuff like that into the game, and I just really love them. And of course, Rick's voice line, he got some really good ones, like this one.
Shouldn't keep that fire going long. Like drawing walkers. I won't stop. I'm getting there. I'm getting home, or I'm dying. That's it.
Meant to be a bit shitty.
Don't worry about me. I'm okay.
Yeah, the first one was.
Michonne, what have they done to you?
I'm okay. It will be.
So anyways, but of course the voice lines are there, and obviously we got the cosmetic. Now, to get the legendary out of the way, so there is confirmation, whatever, of that Maggie will be a legendary skin for Michonne, and that is not available right now, but they've already said that there are going to be more stuff added to The Walking Dead in the future, which is awesome, because I'm still kind of hoping that we can get Negan as a survivor. That would just be freaking awesome, bro. Anyways, but yeah, so I mean, if not a survivor, obviously a killer, but he can be a survivor too. He can be good Negan. But anyways, so freaking Maggie is going to be a legendary skin. Michonne's cosmetics are really good too. They got the one where after the prison went down and she finds that white get up with the brown overcoat or whatever you call it, the vest, stuff like that. And that was one of my favorite outfits of Michonne. I love it, and I'm happy to see it here. And of course, we got the Jedi looking one. The very first time we see Michonne is in her hood, and that was actually one of the skins I was hoping we get, and I am so happy that we got it. And of course, we got Rick's skin, which one of his skin, and I really like how the devs kind of explained it, but this kind of goes like one or two ways. So the first skin you got is a set skin where Rick wakes up in the hospital. He's in his hospital gown, so yes, you can go hospital Rick versus hospital Michael Myers. I think Michael Myers might still win, but then again, Rick is freaking killed a lot of people, probably more people in the show than Michael Myers does in the movies. I don't know. Haven't been paying attention. But anyways, but you got that, and I can see a lot of people running that around. It's a pretty good skin. And then of course we got the murder jacket Rick, it's murder beard Rick. But when he puts on that jacket, as the dev said, somebody's going to die. And unfortunately, the survivors don't have guns yet. I mean, come on, 2025, and we're not giving survivors the guns, man, come on. Anyways, no, but seriously though, we got the murder beard Rick jacket, and it looks fantastic. I was really hoping we get the skin, and of course we got it. And then of course you even got the base skin Rick, which comes with other shirts that he wears in the TV show, and I love them all. And I haven't gotten them all yet. I've only gotten the one where he gets in the, season 3, because that's my favorite season personally, is 3 and 4. And but overall we got the skins. They all look pretty good. Now, of course, we also got perks for both Rick and Michonne, and Rick's and Michonne's perks do fit the characters quite well. They're quite altruistic, and also they're a bit situational. So Rick's one of Rick's perks involves, you know, you being the target. You know, once you save somebody, you know, it's basically called come and get me. So you crouch down, you scream, you reveal the ore to the killer, and they're meant to go after you. That way, any injured survivors around you will lose their grunts of pain, their blood, their scratches, all that shit. And I actually used it in this match quite well. And I was hoping that I'd get the Trapper to chase me, but the Trapper decided not to chase me, so he lost all the way around it anyways. Like, I mean, if he didn't come chase me, you know, get a free chase and stuff like that, then he didn't find anyone else because they were quiet, because I activated the perk. And I heard somebody healing, so, you know, it was the right time to use it. And I might actually be using this perk a little bit more because, again, I like that altruistic play that, you know, Rick has. You know, it's kind of like my playstyle. I like being the support and stuff like that. You also got another perk which basically lets you rebuild pallets after you open or scavenge 2 chests. You got to get 2 points, and then you can basically rebuild pallets and make them fragile. So once you slam them, they break, combust, blah blah blah. And they're pretty obvious too once that happened. And so far, my biggest suggestion is bring a key or appraisal, just so you can go ahead and get this perk working fast. So once you find a chest, you know, that's only 1 point. You got to go out and you got to find another chest. And I don't know about you guys, I know hex like or dull totem location way better than chest, because I hardly ever go after chest. But this is a fun perk to make you, well, you know, go after chests, and also to rebuild pallets to bamboozle the hell out of the killer. And then of course he got his last perk, which basically once you stun or blind the killer, everybody's you know, grunts of pain and all that stuff you know, are silent and stuff like that. So, you know, Rick as the selfless leader, stuff like that, he's pretty altruistic. He kind of just forces the killer to, you know, hey, chase me, or, you know, blah blah blah, you know. So it's pretty cool. These perks alone, they aren't the best by themselves, but I'm starting to notice that when it comes to survivor perks, a lot of them just have to synergize well with each other. Well, not a lot of them. There are some survivor perks that are just good by itself, like Decisive Strike and Dead Hard and, you know, Off the Record, stuff like that. But more and more survivor perks are asking you to synergize, or it is just better synergized with other perks. Now you got Michonne's perks, which personally I like a lot better. I love Rick more than Michonne. You know, it's my favorite character in The Walking Dead. But Michonne has the better perks, obviously. And one perk involves you stunning the killer when you vault. Now it's pretty situational, and for the most part there seems to be kind of a weird delay when your character hits the killer and then they get stunned. It's kind of awkward, to be honest, but it's still a very entertaining perk. Now it gets deactivated once you use it, so it kind of sucks, and most of the time you're probably gonna get hit. Well, maybe not most of the time. Once we get a better understanding of how to actually use it more efficiently, maybe we will be able to use it without getting hit. I don't know. I haven't been able to get it working yet, but anyways, moving on to the next perk. So it's another teamwork perk, where if you stun or blind the killer, then injured survivors will have the endurance effect for 10 seconds, which I think it works better when you blind the killer. But to be honest, only 10 seconds of endurance doesn't really do a lot. I mean, once you stun the killer, they're going to take a couple seconds to go like, oh, that hurt, and then recover, and then most of the time they'll go ahead and just you know, break the pallet and stuff like that. So that's a couple of extra seconds that they've already wasted, and then they have to spend even more seconds to catch up with the survivor, and it's just more time wasted. So by the time that all happens and stuff like that, though, you know, the endurance will already be out, but You never know. I know somebody out there on YouTube is going to get it to work quite amazingly well and get a 4-man escape or whatever with the perks. So anyways, and then of course you have her last perk called Conviction, and this is probably my favorite one. So there's a pretty big issue going on when you're playing Survivor with killer slugging, and I'm not here to say, oh, you know, you're a bad killer if you slug and all that stuff. I mean, I've been playing killer for many years. I get it. I don't believe you should slug at 5 gens unless the survivors are literally giving their bodies to you. But no, slugging sucks. That's all I have to say. Slugging sucks. It's not fun to be slugged as a survivor, and this perk is pretty cool. So once you heal a survivor, all you have to do is get your recover meter to like 20 or 25%, and then you can basically get yourself back up. But you are broken, and you are only up for 30 seconds until you fall back over and, you know, do whatever survivors do when they're on the ground. So it's a pretty cool perk. I like it. I feel like we're going to see a lot of it, you know, once people learn how to use it well. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's a very fun perk, and both Rick and Michonne have very fun perks, and I am so glad that they're in the game right now. I mean, I'm more excited to finally have Rick and Michonne in the game than I am for the perks. But I mean, obviously, for a gameplay perspective, the perks are really fun. You know, they're all, and I feel like they all kind of go from, you know, pretty good to okay. You know, it's not, oh my god, this is busted, or man, this is trash, nobody's going to use it. I mean, let's be honest, most survivors are still going to use the same meta perks that, you know, you see in a lot of games. I mean, and that's just how it is. I mean, that's how every game is. So anyways, but overall, I'm very excited for the perks. I'm very excited for Rick and Michonne to be in Walking Dead, and I mean, you know, to be in Dead by Daylight, and of course, you know, Daryl Dixon. Of course, I mean, you know, that guy's the badass. So if you only cared about, you know, what's in this, what we used to call this back in my day, the paragraph chapter, and that's the Walking Dead part of the game, then that's pretty much all I got to say. Unfortunately, there is no Rift Pass, which I am a little disappointed that there's no Rift Pass, but Behavior never promised there was one, so it's like, whatever. You know what? It is what it is. You know, I can only hope and dream that someday maybe they'll come back and we'll get a Rift Pass, because they have done Rift Pass for licensed characters. They did one for Pig, they did one for Ghostface, and of course Castlevania had one, but that was like right afterwards. Anyways, but oh yeah, and then we also got the map, which at the time of this recording, I haven't actually been able to play on it, but I have played it on PTB, and yeah, you know, really, I mean, it's just the same Withered Isle map with one new tile, which, I mean, the theme of it is pretty cool, but in terms of gameplay, it's nothing to really get crazy. So anyways, moving on, next they started talking about the upcoming cosmetics collection, or I might be going out of order, but the next thing to talk about is the cosmetic collection. I'm going to go very short because, I mean, I don't really care about the cosmetic collection. So we got a new skin for Clown, got a new skin for Trickster, and a couple other survivors, and I do like the theme of it. Of course, as in sort of not really anymore Trickster main. I'm happy that Trickster is getting another skin. Another skin, and this skin looks pretty good. That's all I have to say, really. So I'm happy that Clown got an outfit too, considering that they were about to nerf him. I'm so glad that they got he got a cosmetic too. I think it would have been really sketchy though if they nerfed him and then gave out a cosmetic for Clown. But yeah, so anyway, so hopefully I had some on the screen for you guys to look at real quick. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on, because then I want to talk about something that I can see some people not being so sure of, and that is the upcoming 2v8 changes. Now, I love 2v8. It is literally like when that game mode comes into play, or it comes to Dead by Daylight, it's the only game mode I play until it's over. Alright, I mean, I freaking love 2v8. Why is 2v8 not permanent yet? I don't know. But anyways, I'm happy that there's at least another 2v8 coming. And this 2v8 is, again, unfortunately not Walking Dead theme, which I think it would have been cool. In fact, I think it would have been kind of nuts if they decided to do a Walking Dead theme 2v8 and just have Nemesis zombies going around the map. I mean, I think it might be a little crazy for survivors, but I don't care about you know, winning or balancing or anything like that all too much anymore with this game. Like, I played this game for so long, for so many years since the Huntress release, that I kind of like to just play this game more for fun now at this point and casually. And so to get into it, Legion is getting a really interesting change. So what they're going to be doing is that they're finally going to be making it to where Legion don't have to hit 8 times for him to be able to, or her, to get it down, which is cool. But honestly, the downsides of them are coming up, and this is what I'm not ready for. And that is the fact that, well, the killer instincts are going from 7 to 4, so you're not getting as much, you know, information of where survivors are anymore, which kind of sucks, especially if you're playing with somebody else and you can be like, oh, yo, there's a dude right behind you, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, that's what Legion was really good at, was that support role. Even if you're playing by yourself, I mean, like solo with another random killer, you know, and you can just, you know, stab, being on comms is super crazy. This is why a lot of people complain about Survive with Friends, because it's the comms and the communication that people can have with each other. It's what makes killers go insane. And I mean, communication is key. Communication is, you know, survival. Communication is everything, and you just have such an advantage when you can communicate. But now it's getting reduced to only 4 survivors, or, you know, killer instinct on survivors, and blah blah blah. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess if there were people complaining, oh my god, there's too many heartbeats going on in my ear, make it stop, you know, stuff like that, then I mean, maybe I could understand it. But I mean, to me personally, it kind of sucked. I mean, Legion wasn't that great anyway, but I mean, now he's gonna be less great. Oh, and I also forgot, I think they also either reduced his, no, they did, so they reduced his frenzy duration, and well, that's it. I mean, they reduced his frenzy duration. They didn't say what they reduced it to, but Legion won't be able to get around the map as much anymore. And I have to be honest, I mean, it was whatever. I never really had that kind of an issue when playing 2v8 against the Legion. And, you know, he was able to get across the map. But, I mean, I guess I'm just going to have to wait and see how it actually is before I can say, oh my god, this is terrible. What have they done to my boy? And all that stuff. And in terms of, like, perks and stuff like that, they also did nerf the shadow for killer. I can't remember exactly what they said. But, yeah. Mark killer nerfs, woo. Like we needed that. And then there's also going to be some changes for survivor perks as well, and I can't really remember exactly what they said, but I know guide is getting different. Oh no, I do remember. I think if I'm correct, guide is actually going to be having wiretap and flashbang, or flash bomb, whatever it's supposed to be called, blast mine, you know, together, which is quite crazy. So you put a trap on the gen, and then you're able to see if the killer is around it, and then if the killer decides to hit that generator with the wiretap, they will also get hit with the blast mine, which I hate getting blast mined as killer, because it wastes time, and plus well, you know, sometimes I like playing in a dark room, and then all of a sudden, bang, you know, it just brightens up my entire house. So anyways, but it is what it is. I mean, hey, you know what, it might make it more interesting, might make it more fun, and anything to get people from consistently just sticking to the one perk where you get sprint burst and stuff like that. I can't remember what it was called, but you know, that was like the most common class that I saw. So hey, maybe we'll finally get some more medics and you know, guides and technician and whatever. So overall, I'm interested in seeing what the 2v8 is. In fact, I'm just more happy that there's finally going to be 2v8 coming back. We also got one more huge announcement, a big change that is going to affect the killer queues. So if you don't play 2v8, there is a huge problem with killer queues, where it just takes, you know, 20 years to find a match that, you know, takes maybe 10-15 minutes, and then you gotta wait another 20 years to play another match as killer and stuff like that, and it really sucks. But now you, or if you're playing with a friend, whoever's the host, can queue up for killer and then just instantly go into a 2v8 survivor match. Play that out and you'll keep your spot in the queue, so once you're done you come back, and if you're the next person in line to get into a game, then that's you, bro. You are in that game. And I think that is so awesome, because to be honest, I mean, these days I love playing survivor, and I always like playing survivor in 2v. It's just that, you know, now that I can finally play killer with a friend who also plays a lot of killer, it just makes it more fun. I mean, you know, killer has always been a more engaging side of the game anyways, so I'm happy, and I am looking forward for 2v8, which I believe they said it is going from the 19th to the 2nd of September. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, it is coming up very soon. Okay, I think that's pretty much all the Dead by Daylight news that you know, that I cared about and that I listened to. A couple other stuff that they had, it wasn't a really long stream, but a couple other stuff they talked about too with a new game coming out. I already forgot what it's called. I believe it's called It Has My Face, and it's a pretty interesting concept. So basically, in the start of the match, you take a mirror, you look at yourself, recognize your face, and then you go into some sort of map to where there's a lot of people, and you got to try to discover, like, you got to try to find somebody that has your face and try to kill them, while that person is also trying to kill you as well. It's supposed to be, I don't know if this is supposed to be a multiplayer game or a single player game. It sounds like, the concept sounds like a multiplayer game, like a 1v1. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Honestly, I haven't seen any gameplay, but you can play the demo out, or you can play the demo right now on Steam. So there's that. But other than that, that was pretty much everything that was covered, you know, at least Dead by Daylight related, in the stream. Like I said, it was short, sweet, to the point, and yeah, so overall though, you know, stream was pretty cool. I didn't do a reaction video to the anniversary stream because they did it really weirdly this time, and yeah, and I actually didn't end up watching it. I just went right into the anniversary event, and you know, that was that. So, but yeah, overall, I'm excited that Walking Dead is finally here. I will make another video kind of talking about it, and you know, discussing you know, more of, like, you know, what skins could we have for the Walking Dead character. Could Glenn finally come into the game? Maggie! But yeah, you know, anyways, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to playing Rick. He's probably going to be my new main, because again, he's just I took a lot of inspiration from him, so it's kind of like my dream chapter come true, so I'm happy. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here, because this video is way longer than I expected, but I know I took a lot of time to explain all the Walking Dead stuff, because you know, I'm excited. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.